Have you heard of the prophet Isaiah? Have you ever wondered what drives someone to be sawn in half because of their beliefs? Today, we will dive into the life and terrible death of Isaiah, one of the greatest prophets in the Bible. We will discover how his prophecies impacted generations and why his story remains so relevant. Stay tuned, because what you are about to hear today is chilling. Isaiah was born and lived in Jerusalem, the capital of the Kingdom of Judah, during the 8th century BC. He began his prophetic ministry in the year that King Uzziah died, around 740 BC, and continued to prophesy during the reigns of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. It is believed that Isaiah came from a noble family, possibly having direct access to the royal court, which allowed him to advise the kings of Judah on both spiritual and political matters. His proximity to royalty did not prevent him from being a severe critic of the social injustices and idolatry that prevailed in the nation. Isaiah is known for his powerful visions and messages, often conveyed through poetic and symbolic imagery. He saw God seated on a high throne, surrounded by seraphim, a vision that profoundly marked him and influenced his entire prophetic mission. Throughout his ministry, Isaiah proclaimed messages of judgment and hope. He warned Judah about the dangers of turning away from God, predicting destruction and exile as consequences of disobedience. However, Isaiah also brought a message of hope and redemption. He prophesied the coming of a Messiah, a suffering servant who would bring salvation not only to Israel but to all nations. This prophecy is widely interpreted by Christians as a reference to Jesus Christ. In addition to his messianic prophecies, Isaiah also emphasized the importance of social justice and faithfulness to God, urging people to live according to divine commandments. Isaiah's influence extended far beyond his lifetime, with his words continuing to resonate through the centuries, inspiring generations to seek a life of justice, faith, and hope. Isaiah's prophecies are widely known for their depth and scope, addressing themes ranging from immediate judgment on Judah and other nations to the glorious vision of a messianic future. Isaiah did not hesitate to denounce the corruption, idolatry, and social injustice that prevailed in Judah. He warned the people about the imminent destruction of Jerusalem and the exile that was approaching as a consequence of their disobedience to God. His messages of judgment were direct and impactful, but Isaiah also offered hope, emphasizing that God's punishment would be followed by restoration. He predicted the return of the exiles and the renewal of Jerusalem, presenting a vision of a future where peace and justice would reign under God's rule. Beyond the prophecies of judgment and restoration, Isaiah is particularly celebrated for his messianic visions. He spoke of an Emmanuel, God with us, a sign of hope during times of distress. Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 to 7, describes an ideal ruler, a prince of peace, whose authority would bring eternal justice and righteousness. In chapter 53, Isaiah presents the figure of the suffering servant, someone who would bear the iniquities of the people and suffer in their place, bringing redemption and healing. These messianic prophecies are interpreted by Christians as predictions of the life and work of Jesus Christ. Additionally, Isaiah also envisioned a future of universal peace, where conflicting nations would reconcile and swords would be turned into plowshares. Isaiah's prophecies, with their combination of warning and hope, continue to resonate powerfully, offering a vision of a redeemed and harmonious world under divine leadership. The death of Isaiah is shrouded in mystery and legend, as the Bible does not provide specific details about how he met his end. However, Jewish tradition and some apocryphal texts, such as the Martyrdom of Isaiah, give us a dark and tragic view of his final moments. According to this tradition, Isaiah was martyred during the reign of Manasseh, one of the most wicked kings of Judah, known for his rampant idolatry and persecution of God's prophets. Manasseh, angered by Isaiah's constant rebukes and prophecies against his conduct and policies, allegedly ordered the prophet's execution in a brutal manner. According to these sources, Isaiah was sawn in half. This form of death underscores the cruelty of Manasseh's reign and the extreme opposition Isaiah faced for his unwavering faithfulness to God and his prophetic mission. The idea of Isaiah being sawn in half not only highlights the intensity of the persecution he and other prophets faced, but also serves as a powerful testimony to his faith and courage. Despite the danger, Isaiah continued to proclaim the truths that God revealed to him, regardless of the consequences. His terrible death is a grim reminder of the price often paid by those who dare to speak out against injustice and corruption in God's name. This ultimate sacrifice made by Isaiah reinforces the lasting impact of his words and his spiritual influence. Even after centuries, the story of his death continues to resonate, highlighting the courage needed to defend truth and justice. The life and death of Isaiah not only shaped the faith and conscience of the people of his time, but also left a lasting legacy that continues to inspire and challenge future generations. Isaiah's legacy is profound and multifaceted, extending far beyond his earthly life and significantly influencing both Judaism and Christianity. His prophecies, preserved in the book that bears his name, are considered some of the most sublime and impactful in all biblical literature. Isaiah is frequently cited in the New Testament, especially concerning his messianic visions that Christians believe were fulfilled in Jesus Christ. His messages of social justice, condemning the oppression of the poor and advocating for honesty and righteousness, resonate powerfully to this day, serving as a moral and spiritual guide. His vision of a redeemed world, where peace and justice prevail, continues to inspire social and spiritual reform movements worldwide. In addition to his religious and moral impact, Isaiah also left a cultural and literary legacy. His poetic imagery and the depth of his visions have influenced not only theology but also art, literature, and music throughout the centuries. His ability to combine judgment and hope, condemnation and redemption, makes his writings an inexhaustible source of reflection and inspiration. His prophecies about the suffering servant and the Prince of Peace are particularly emblematic, offering a vision of sacrifice and leadership that transcends cultural and temporal barriers. In summary, Isaiah's legacy is vast and enduring, permeating various aspects of religious and cultural life, and continuing to offer wisdom, hope, and inspiration to millions of people around the world. And that is the story and the terrible death of the prophet Isaiah. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Leave in the comments what you thought of Isaiah's story and which other biblical characters you would like to see here on the channel.